If you are looking to start up a YouTube channel in 2021 and you are low on funds and you don't want to spend so much money, I'm going to give you a few equipments you can get with the least amount of money to actually get started on your YouTube channel. A while ago, I made a video with a friend of mine talking about the struggles of being a small YouTuber and how to actually walk through all the hurdles you're going to face. Well, in that video, I mentioned I'm going to talk about the equipment that I use for those that are interested. So some people showed interest, so this is that video showing you the equipment that I use to set up my YouTube channel, starting with the cameras, the lights, the sound, and basically how to set those things up. Now, first of all, I just want to tell you that if you do not have a lot of money to spend, it doesn't really matter. Like, you really don't need to break the bank to start something, especially when you're not sure if that's something you're going to do for a long time. So rather than waiting till you have so and so amount of money before you start, I recommend you start with the things you have around you, like your phone. You already have your phone. Your phone already has a mic and you already have natural sunlight. You can just get started like that. But I feel what's important is gathering the knowledge that is required to actually sustain you and to actually grow you on the platform. Now, I'm still a relatively small YouTuber, like very small. Now, what are the equipments you are going to need to start a YouTube channel? First of all, I want to start with talking about lights. Now, the lights, you're going to need a light source to, of course, illuminate your face so that you have a bright looking picture. I have one softbox light here that is creating this effect. You can see. I have another one front here that is creating this key light. This one is very dull. This one is very bright. So you can notice that this one is like a blown out highlight. The camera ISO is set to about 3200, which I would normally not do because in my former camera, if you use any ISO above 1000 or so, you're going to have a lot of noise. But for some reason, this camera actually does well with high ISO. That means that it captures low light pretty well. And then I have the mode light behind me on those artworks that are creating, a nice backdrop for my background. So the blue lights are used LED strips. The key light, this key light actually is a softbox light that I custom made by myself, and the reason I'm using this is because it has this very warm color temperature. And of course, color temperature is something that is very important to you as you continue to work with cameras. Now, behind me is a Godox softbox light that I bought. It's about 25,000 naira to get that. The custom one with about 2,000 naira or so, you can make this one by yourself. You really don't need to buy anything much apart from lights and papers and cartons and stuff like that. Basically, the theory behind a softbox light is that you do not want to create harsh light. Now, if you carry a point source of light, like maybe your phone touch, right? It's coming from a point source, and you shine it at something, you have a very sharp shadow, or maybe on a wall or something, you have a very sharp shadow. That sharp shadow, it's a result of a harsh light source, a harsh point source. So the softbox light theory is that you take that point source and you spread it over a diffuser. And that diffuser now distributes the lights more evenly over a wide area. So that creates very soft shadow on the background and creates a light that is not so harsh to look at. In fact, I can actually look into this light and it doesn't hurt my eyes because it's soft like that. So if you understand the theory, you can actually use your flashlight and put maybe a piece of cloth diffuser or just a white cloth, and it's gonna serve as a softbox light. So it's the theory that matters. You really don't have to break the bank to buy the most expensive light out there. When you get how they work, you can build one out of whatever you have around in your home. Alright, that's that for light. Then for cameras, I love DSLR cameras. DSLR cameras are like very professional, very versatile. The manual controls are the most exciting part of it. So With manual control, you can actually set up a particular style and be consistent with it, so your video always looks the same all the time. Okay, of course you can use your phone. If you have an iPhone or an Android, something with very good quality, you can actually use that to start your YouTube channel. A lot of people have powerful phones and don't really utilize those phones. If you have something like that, or even have a sister or a friend with it, you can always borrow their phones and use it to get started. Okay, but for the camera gear that I use, let's talk about that. For the longest time I've been using EOS 7D. So for the longest time, this is the camera I use. This is the EOS 7D Canon. But I'm very glad to be upgrading now. I have the camera shooting this right now is the EOS Rebel T5i, another Canon camera that has better features like the touch screen, the flip screen, more precise autofocus, the better ISO and low light capabilities and stuff like that. So this is a much more powerful camera than what I had before. And funny enough, it's lighter in weight and smaller in size, which makes it easy for your handheld selfie style, vlogger style, videos making. So of course the EOS 7D, maybe you can get it for about 100 and something thousand. I don't think it's in production anymore, but from someone that already has it. The EOS T5i that I'm using now, with about 240 or thereabout, you can get it on Jumia, and I think it's a good thing to save towards. Now there are cameras worth millions of naira, so I'm not saying you should go there. If you are just starting a YouTube channel, you do not even want to buy those cameras because you don't even know how to use the functions. So you have to. I recommend you start with the smaller ones. You start with the smaller, less expensive cameras and gadgets, and then you upgrade as you go on, and you continue to increase your knowledge. That's the most important thing. No matter how expensive or how cheap the equipment you are using, if you have the knowledge, you'll be able to set it up right. So someone can have a better camera than this, better lights than this, more expensive everything, and it will still not look good as this. Because I have to now start learning about white balance, learning about color temperature, learning about the ISO, the shutter speed, the aperture, and all those terms that were very foreign to me before I got this first camera as a gift. So what am I saying? It's start with what you have. If you have to borrow from someone, borrow it, but focus more on the learning side than on the buying side. You really don't have to buy everything. Okay, so that's that for cameras. Let's talk about sound. I use a BM800 microphone. The BM800 microphone is one of the cheapest condenser mics out there, if not the cheapest. Down here I have my microphone that is picking the sound. If you notice I go closer to it, it's gonna pick more. I could actually use this microphone like this in my face while talking, but I like to take it off the screen, just take it off the screen. All right, I have my laptop. It's not my laptop actually. Do I even have anything? Everything is not for me. Not my laptop actually, but I have the laptop running OBS Studio. This was actually picking up the sound and doing all the noise reduction and all that stuff. A better microphone would be like the Blue Yeti microphone. Those microphones that you see ASMR artists use a lot because, man, it produces good sound. And those microphones actually have your inbuilt noise cancellation. But I'm able to enjoy the BM800 microphone because I found a way to drastically improve the quality and reduce the noise, and that is using OBS Studio. And this mic is currently connected to a laptop that runs OBS Studio. OBS Studio is called Open Broadcast software, and it's a software that is very versatile. Streamers use it, churches use it to stream live on YouTube, on Facebook. And basically what it does is that it collects a lot of inputs, both camera inputs, mic inputs, different things, and puts it together into a video, and you can record or you can stream. Now, just for the sake of noise reduction, you don't need to know about all those things. If you want to do all those things, there are tutorials on OBS Studio you can watch. For the sake of noise reduction, all you need to do is connect your microphone to your laptop using a sound card. Now that's another equipment you need to know about. In fact, there are some equipment connected to the microphone that you must know. For example, the sound card, as I just mentioned, that is what actually enables you to connect your microphone via the audio jack to USB to your laptop. But between the sound card and the microphone is the phantom power supply. The 48-volt phantom power supply is the one that actually amplifies the condenser mic, because the condenser microphone is a powered microphone. Unlike the dynamic microphone, the condenser microphone actually makes use of power. And of course, you can also connect your microphone directly to your camera mic inputs if it has. Thank God this one has. But you know, your camera also produces some kind of internal noise, and it doesn't have the feature to reduce noise. So that's going to also stress you while editing to have to do a lot of noise reduction. But I've noticed that the real-time live noise reduction that OBS Studio does when you apply the noise filter in it actually does a better job in removing the noise than you would using post noise reduction. But of course, if you have more noise in your sound and you want to reduce it through post, the software I use on laptop is called Audacity. Now, Audacity is a software that has a lot of sound editing features, but noise reduction in Audacity is quite easy. Just watch a few tutorials and you'll be good to go. Of course, on your phone, if you don't want to use a laptop, on your phone, what you use for noise reduction, I have one called Lexis. So Lexis Audio helps reduce sound also and other, sound editing features on your phone. In order to synchronize the audio and video together, what you do is that you clap. I talked about that. I don't think I have. So you clap like this. And the clap actually helps to synchronize the audio and the video. Why? Because the mic already picks the sound of the clap. So all you need to do is, while editing, you make sure you start the cut and merge it where the video clap is shown and where the audio clap sound starts, and you will have a well synchronized audio and video, so that you won't have that issue where your mouth will be saying something and the audio will not lip sync, and it's very embarrassing. So that's one very important tip. Clap before you start any video, especially when your sound is recorded separately. Alright, so basically I've talked about, I've given you like a brush up of everything you need to know. And I'm just going to talk about some softwares that are very helpful as a YouTuber. We're going to have to create thumbnails. So software for creating thumbnails is Canva. I say Canva because Canva is easy. But if you want to really be more creative and you want to create other things, I believe Pixel Lab would do a much better job for you. Now, those are softwares on your phone. Those are Android apps. Canva, Pixel Lab for your Android phone. But if you want to work with laptop softwares, the laptop softwares you should make use of is Photoshop. And I think there's also Canva for laptop. So Canva 2 on your PC would do good thumbnails for you. For video editing on your phone, you can make use of KineMaster, you can make use of Power Director. I think KineMaster is still the best video editing on phone, period. On your laptop, of course, use Adobe Premiere Pro for video editing. Alright, let's talk about some things that I didn't mention. Something is holding the mic that I'm using right now. It's the boom arm, or you can call it the movable arm. It's a table mount movable arm. So you clamp it to the edge of your table and you can adjust the microphone angle and level. We have the camera tripod stand that you can also use to adjust the camera height and everything. Then also, some of the equipment I don't have that I feel are also very essential is a pin-up mic. Pin-up mic is very useful when you're going to be moving around in your production. So people that make skits, for example, they make use of pin-up mic. Or they use a boom mic. A boom mic involves somebody holding a microphone over the person's head, because you know you're not going to be showing so much area over the head. So the person just holds the microphone to somewhere a little bit above the camera um, range of view, and it picks the sound because the condenser microphone picks all the conversations and all. But a more safe way, you can use both. I think it's safer to use both, like have your boom mic and also have your pin mic, so that when a particular sound is not being picked up, your pin mic will pick it up. I think for those kind of productions, if you are doing a very like talking style video, the pin mic will pick most of your vocals, but there are some surrounding sound that makes the scene more effective. Maybe you are operating some things, or someone shuts the door. Those little sounds that brings life to the scene. The boom mic will pick those little ones up. So what I'm saying is that it's good to have a range of microphones. Like, don't just stick with the BM800 and think to solve all your problems. Different microphones are used for different purposes. For example, if you want to take a vlogger style selfie with your camera, you are probably going to need a a Rode microphone that is going to be mounted on top of the camera, so that as you are talking to the camera, it's picking better sound. Of course, the camera has its own microphone, but it's not as good as an external microphone. So that's basically all I want to talk about. This video is already too long, but I'm going to leave it like this. I will not cut it into 2 videos, because that would defeat the purpose of actually talking about how the equipment you need and the gadgets you need to start up a YouTube channel. My name is Igbonosa Saritin Isaac, and this is Blended Art Studio. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you again.